Hey everyone. For those of you who are new here, I'm Josh, and in this video I want to talk to you about how to deal with limiting beliefs. This is a topic that one of you suggested, and I thought this was a fantastic topic because everybody out there deals with limiting beliefs. There's not a single person who is free from, okay, maybe there are some people, but hey, those people literally have their brains mutated to not doubt themselves, so they don't count. But for the rest of us who don't have that brain mutation, we deal with limiting beliefs. So what can you do to tackle them and not let them stop you? The first tip I have for you is that you should question your limiting beliefs. You should dissect them, put them under scrutiny, and see whether or not they're actually legit. Because rather often, you'll find that your limiting beliefs are just BS that your mind fabricates to try to protect your ego from disappointment and fear and other things like that. Because your ego doesn't want to deal with the thought that you're not good enough, right? That's almost like a triggering thought for many of us if we were to think about the fact that we may not be good enough for certain things. But here's the thing, that desire to protect yourself often actually makes it so that you then aren't good enough to do things because you start doubting yourself enough to make it true. You don't even act, right? That doubt makes it so that you won't even take action to even find out whether or not if you even have what it takes to do that thing. So it kind of creates a self-fulfilling prophecy. You see someone you find attractive and you think that they would never like you, so you don't even bother approaching them to find out whether or not they would actually like you. Or you have some big goal that you want to accomplish, but you think you don't have what it takes, so you don't even bother taking action towards that goal. So now, of course, you're not going to achieve it because you're not even taking action towards it. This is the problem with limiting beliefs. They create self-fulfilling prophecies because they guide us into inaction. They make us stay where we are, and then our life does not get any better. So you really want to dissect them and see whether or not they're legit, because I would wager over 90% of the time they're not legit. They're irrational. Like I said earlier, it's your ego creating ways to protect itself because it doesn't want to ever deal with the thought that it may not be good enough. But this egoic desire to protect yourself is not helpful. So let's immediately start questioning your limiting beliefs. Do they actually make sense? Are they actually rooted in reality? Or are they irrational? Let's use the example of you having the limiting belief of believing that other people will not be interested in you, will not like you, so that you're going to spend your whole life forever alone. Okay, does this make sense? If you hold this up under a microscope, does it actually make sense in reality? Can you really say that absolutely nobody on the planet would be interested in you? Nobody on the planet. There's what, like almost 8 billion, no, over 8 billion people on the planet now. Can you really say that out of that entire 8 billion, okay, I understand a lot of them are children and whatnot, but of all the adults, which is still probably going to be like well over 4 billion people, can you really say that all of them would not find you interesting or not be attracted to you? Can you really say that? I know some of your egos are probably going into crazy mode right now, trying to protect yourself and make you not have to put yourself out there and face rejection. So they're probably saying, yeah, there's nobody for sure who would be interested in me. That is simply not true. There is no way in hell that that is true. Even if you believe you're incredibly unattractive, that's just not true. There will always be someone out there who will be interested in you. There will always be someone out there who will find you interesting, who will actually really like your mind and want to get to know you a lot better. So telling yourself that there's nobody out there for you is just wrong. It's BS. It's, again, your ego trying to protect itself because you fear rejection. That's a true limiting belief. It's you not being able to handle rejection. But another limiting belief that's pretty common is people believing they can't go after their dreams in life, that they can't accomplish big goals. And again, this one doesn't really hold up under scrutiny. Because think about this, have you ever accomplished something in the past that you thought you didn't have what it takes to do, and yet over time you're able to do it? It could even be something as simple as graduating college or graduating high school or whatever, or just getting a job or something like that that you really wanted. There have always been times in all of our past where I imagine we overcame our limiting beliefs and were able to do something. So remind yourself of those moments, because that can then empower you to deal with limiting beliefs in the here and now. Because now you can tell yourself that you've already overcame your limiting beliefs in the past. So why can't you do that again now, in the present moment? All it takes is realizing that your limiting belief is not legit, it's not rooted in reality, and that you have what it takes to move through it. A lot of people kind of view their limiting beliefs as like these brick walls in front of them, and they're not even equipped with a sledgehammer to smash them down. When really, limiting beliefs are more like a wall made out of straw, and you only have your hands to work with, but you can break down a straw wall with your hands. They're not very tough, right? You just have to go boom and just knock it away, and there you go. Now you can move through it. That's more akin to what limiting beliefs are actually like. They're not these impenetrable objects in our ways that we can't deal with. No, they're more like things that we think are big and scary and something we can't break through, but then when we actually try to break through it, we realize that it's super easy to do so. It just takes having some courage and some confidence in ourselves to just move right through it and realize that it's not actually holding us back. If anything, it was more our mind playing tricks on us, telling us that this wall was massive when it really isn't. Our vision was clouded by our insecurities, our fear, and not wanting to disappoint ourselves, and our ego wanting to protect itself. But really, that wall is just made of straw. You could even blow it over if you had the lungs capable of doing that. It is not a scary, impenetrable object in front of you. A bonus tip that can help you with limiting beliefs is working on building up your confidence. But I've already made quite a few videos on how to build up confidence, so I don't really want to do that again in this one, especially because it's not exactly the main point of this video. So feel free to search confidence on my YouTube channel, and you should be able to find those videos. Hopefully they'll be helpful, because confidence is something that will help you move through limiting beliefs as well. And that tip that I shared earlier of reminding yourself of all the times you already overcame your limiting beliefs will help you develop confidence, because it shows you that you already have what it takes. You've already done this before. We just forget about it because we're dealing with so many issues in life and so many monotonous things on a day-to-day basis that we forget about all the times where we were true Chads in our own lives and overcame difficult things. And yeah, we all have what it takes to do that. We just forget. So start reminding yourself of it even more, and you'll develop natural confidence, because you'll know that you have what it takes to move through limiting beliefs and that they aren't capable of stopping you unless you let them. So scrutinize them, realize that they're not legit, they're often irrational, choose to sweep them aside and keep moving forward anyway. You do not need to let them stop you. Just like with fear, it's something you can feel but move through anyway. You don't need to let it be something that stops you from creating the life that you desire. But that's pretty much all I wanted to share with you guys in this video. I truly hope this was helpful. These are things that have worked for me for dealing with limiting beliefs. I mean, I still have limiting beliefs now, of course, but it's a lot easier to manage them because, yeah, I'll often question them and be like, okay, this doesn't make any sense. This is something rooted in fear and insecurity, and I don't need to let it stop me because it's not based in reality. Like, even if I think I can't accomplish something, I'll usually only think that for a few seconds before I remind myself and say, that's only because I'm not taking action towards it that I even think that. As soon as I start working towards it, I almost always end up figuring things out and being able to do it, and I kind of surprise myself in that way. You can do the same thing too. You do not need to let limiting beliefs stop you in your tracks because they're not impenetrable objects. Remember, they're that straw wall in front of you. But you have, even with just being barehanded, you have more than what it takes to dismantle a straw wall. Like, it's not some obstacle that is permanently in your path. Just brush it aside. Or if it takes you a while, just pluck it apart one piece of straw at a time. It'll take forever, but you can still dismantle that wall. They are not permanent. They are not going to stop you unless you let them. So don't let them stop you. Anyway, I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you like content like this, be sure to subscribe for more. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to leave a like on it for the algorithm. That's super helpful for me. And I will see you guys in the next video. Arrivederci!